Imagine what a storm it can create in the auto industry when the CEO of a car company himself steps forward and announces that their most mysterious and talked about engine is not just a rumor, but a reality. That is exactly what happened when the CEO of Mercedes confirmed that the YASA Flux Engine exists. For years, people only heard whispers and secret discussions about it, but now it is official. This engine is said to be so advanced and powerful that it could keep big companies like Tesla, BYD, and Toyota awake at night. If this engine is installed in cars, it could completely change the game of petrol, diesel, and even existing electric batteries. But the real question is, what makes this engine so special? Will it really be the breakthrough the auto industry has been waiting for, or will it turn out to be another high-tech promise that fades with time? And if it truly works as claimed, could Tesla's dominance in the EV world be at risk? The truth is that such revolutionary technology does not appear overnight. Behind every big innovation, there are years of secret planning, research, and hard work. The same happened with the YASA Flux Engine. Many people think it suddenly came into the spotlight, but in reality, Mercedes had been quietly working on it for several years. They didn't make bold claims or attract attention through the media. Instead, they focused silently on making this vision a reality. This is part of Mercedes's clever master plan. If we look back between 2010 and 2015, the world saw a major shift toward electric vehicles. Tesla proved through its models that EVs were not just the future but also the present. Mercedes understood that if they wanted to stay strong in the coming decades, they couldn't just rely on batteries. They also had to completely transform motor technology. Around this time, their eyes fell on a small but highly innovative British company named YASA. YASA had already been working on a new type of motor called the Axial flux motor. Their prototypes showed that this design had the potential to change the future of automobiles. Mercedes recognized the opportunity and slowly began supporting YASA. Finally, in 2019, Mercedes fully acquired the company. At first glance, it looked like a normal business deal, but in reality, this was the foundation for creating the YASA Flux Engine. After the takeover, Mercedes provided YASA with huge funding and research support. Over the past 5 to 10 years, millions of dollars have been invested, and hundreds of engineers worked tirelessly, day and night, to turn this engine into reality. The project was kept so secret that even experts in the auto industry had no idea what Mercedes was developing. Most people assumed Mercedes was only focused on building luxury electric cars, but behind the scenes, they were creating an engine that could transform the entire automobile world. Another smart part of Mercedes's plan was timing. They did not rush to bring the engine to the market. They knew that if they launched a weak or incomplete product, companies like Tesla and BYD would mock them instantly. So instead, Mercedes carried out thousands of hours of testing, simulations, and real-world experiments. Only when they were completely confident of its success did they reveal it to the world. This shows that Mercedes has learned from Tesla's strategy. Tesla is known for making loud announcements and entering the market with hype, but Mercedes quietly built something real and then revealed it at the right moment. Their approach is simple. Say less, do more. Now let's understand what makes the YASA Flux Engine so unique. Whenever we think about cars, the engine is always the first thing that comes to mind. For decades, petrol and diesel engines ruled the roads. Then electric motors entered the scene. But now, the YASA Flux Engine is the new name on everyone's lips. The word flux refers to magnetic flow. All electric motors work using electricity and magnets, but normal electric motors, such as induction motors or permanent magnet motors, are usually bulky, heavy, and take up a lot of space. The magic of the YASA Flux Engine lies in its design. It is small, lightweight, yet incredibly powerful. Its design is called an axial flux motor. In simple terms, a normal electric motor looks like a thick cylinder that spins, while an axial flux motor spins more like a thin disc or a flat plate. This unique shape makes it lighter and more compact while delivering more power. Another important feature is torque, which is the twisting force that makes a car accelerate. To understand torque, think about using a spanner to open a tight screw. With a short spanner, you have to use more strength, but with a long spanner, the screw turns easily. The YASA Flux Engine has very high torque, which means the car can accelerate instantly. Unlike ordinary motors that take a moment to build speed, this engine delivers full power the moment it starts. As a result, cars with this engine can go from 0 to 100 kilometers per hour in almost no time. Efficiency is another big advantage. Normal electric motors heat up quickly and waste a lot of energy as heat, which reduces the driving range. But the design of the YASA Flux Engine reduces heat loss significantly. This means less battery power is wasted, and the car can travel a longer distance on a single charge. For example, if a normal electric car offers a range of 400 kilometers, the same car equipped with a YASA Flux Engine could travel up to 500 or even 550 kilometers without increasing the battery size. This engine is also very versatile. Despite being compact, it can be used in small hatchbacks, SUVs, or even powerful sports cars. Ordinary motors are often too big and heavy to fit into every type of vehicle, but the YASA Flux Engine solves this problem. Because of its lightweight design, cars become more efficient, smoother to drive, and even cheaper to produce since they require smaller batteries. The most exciting thing about this engine is that it feels like a technology from the future. While most EV companies are still depending on old motor designs, Mercedes has taken a huge leap forward. By introducing the YASA Flux Engine, they are sending a clear message. Only companies that embrace new and revolutionary technology will survive in the coming years. At its core, the YASA Flux Engine is proof of how innovation and smart design can reshape an entire industry. Its axial flux design, higher torque, better efficiency, and compact size make it unlike anything seen before. It combines magnetic flux with powerful torque, creating the perfect balance of strength and efficiency. Simply put, this is not just an improvement, it is the real magic of technology, a step that could redefine the future of cars forever. The motors used in most electric cars today are usually radial flux motors. In this design, the magnets and coils rotate around a cylinder. The YASA Flux Engine, however, works in a completely different way. Instead of being built like a cylinder, it is flat like a disc. This unique design is what makes it so special. The biggest advantage of the axial flux design is that it is small, light, and compact. Traditional motors are heavy and take up a lot of space, but this new engine saves space while giving more power. Car makers can use the extra space to either fit larger batteries for more range or keep the battery smaller to make the car cheaper and lighter. This flexibility gives companies more options than ever before. Efficiency is another area where the YASA Flux Engine shines. Ordinary electric motors generate a lot of heat while running, which wastes energy and drains the battery faster. The axial flux design greatly reduces this problem because its shape allows heat to escape more easily. As a result, less energy is wasted, and more power from the battery is used to actually run the car. This means better range and better performance. To put it simply, if a normal electric motor allows a car to travel 400 kilometers, the same car with a YASA Flux Engine could easily travel more than 500 kilometers on the same battery. This is why experts are calling it the real game changer. Another major advantage is the power-to-weight ratio. Normal motors are bulky and require larger magnets and more coils to produce high power. The axial flux motor, however, can deliver the same level of power while being lighter. For example, a motor that previously needed to weigh 100 kilograms can now be replaced with a 60 to 70 kilogram flux motor while still giving the same performance. Because the motor is lighter, the battery feels less strain, and the car becomes smoother and more enjoyable to drive. Mercedes's goal behind adopting this technology was not only to boost performance but also to change the mindset of the entire automobile industry. Until now, companies believed that the only way to improve cars was to make motors bigger and more powerful. But the YASA Flux Engine proves that a compact, lightweight, and intelligently designed motor can be even more effective. Currently, most companies like Tesla and BYD are still using radial flux motors, which have been around for many years. The shift to the YASA Flux Engine is similar to the change from old button phones to smartphones. At first, many people may not notice the difference, but once the benefits become clear, the industry will naturally start moving toward it. This engine combines all the things car makers want. It is light, powerful, efficient, and space-saving. That is why the announcement of Mercedes adopting it has shaken the entire auto industry. Now comes the biggest battle: Tesla versus Mercedes. Tesla is the most famous name in electric vehicles, and Elon Musk has turned EVs into both a necessity and a trend. Tesla's cars are still considered the most popular electric vehicles in the world. But with Mercedes introducing the YASA Flux Engine, a direct challenge has been thrown at Tesla. The competition is not small. It could completely change the market. Tesla's cars currently use permanent magnet and induction motors. While these motors are powerful, they are also heavy and take up a lot of room. The YASA Flux Engine, by comparison, is compact, light, and shaped like a disc while still delivering more power. This difference is why experts are saying Tesla's motor technology is beginning to look outdated. Tesla has always focused on its batteries and software as its main strengths. But if Mercedes takes such a big lead in motor technology, Tesla's unique advantage in the market could weaken. If Mercedes installs the YASA Flux Engine in both luxury cars and mass-market vehicles, Tesla's speed, range, and efficiency will face serious competition. In terms of performance, Tesla cars are known for their fast acceleration, going from 0 to 100 km per hour in seconds. But the torque in the YASA Flux Engine is so strong that it can achieve the same acceleration even faster and in a smoother way. When it comes to efficiency, Tesla's motors waste more energy as heat, while the YASA Flux Engine conserves more power and extends battery life. At first, the Flux Engine may cost more because it is new technology. But once Mercedes begins large-scale production, prices will naturally fall, and competing with it will become very difficult for Tesla and other companies. BYD and Toyota, who are also leading names in the EV industry, will need to pay attention as well. BYD is currently the world's largest electric vehicle manufacturer, while Toyota is investing heavily in hybrids and EVs. But Mercedes's announcement proves that the real competition in the future may no longer be about just batteries or design. It will be about motors. The company that leads in motor technology will have a strong chance to dominate the next generation of cars. The electric car industry is going through a big change with Mercedes introducing the new YASA Flux Engine. Most electric cars today use radial flux motors, where magnets and coils spin around a cylinder. These motors are bulky, heavy, and take up a lot of space. The YASA Flux Engine, on the other hand, uses an axial flux design, which looks like a flat disc instead of a cylinder. This makes it lighter, smaller, and far more efficient than traditional motors. Because of its compact design, car makers don't need as much space to fit the motor inside a vehicle. This extra space can either be used to add more batteries for longer range or to reduce costs by using a smaller battery. This flexibility is something traditional motors cannot offer. Another big advantage of this new motor is its efficiency. Normal electric motors heat up quickly while running, which wastes a lot of energy. This is one of the main reasons why EV batteries drain faster. The YASA Flux motor solves this problem. Its shape allows heat to escape quickly, reducing energy loss. This means more of the battery's power goes into moving the car, giving it both better performance and longer range. For example, if a regular EV motor allows a car to drive 400 kilometers, the same car with the YASA Flux Engine could easily go over 500 kilometers. That kind of difference is huge in the EV industry and is why many are calling it a game changer. Another point is the power-to-weight ratio. Traditional motors need to be heavier and use larger magnets and coils to produce high power. The YASA Flux motor, however, produces the same or even more power despite being lighter and smaller. A motor that used to weigh 100 kilograms could now be replaced by one weighing just 60 to 70 kilograms while giving the same output. A lighter motor means less pressure on the battery and a smoother driving experience. This is exactly why Mercedes invested in this technology. Not just to make faster cars, but to prove that smarter, lighter, and more efficient motors are the future. Right now, Tesla and BYD still rely on older radial flux motor technology, while Toyota has been focused more on hybrids and hydrogen cars. But this new design from Mercedes is shaking the entire auto industry. It is being compared to the shift from button phones to smartphones. At first, people may not see the difference, but once they realize the benefits, lighter weight, better power, higher efficiency, and longer range, it will be impossible to ignore. This is why experts believe the whole industry will eventually move towards axial flux motors. The competition is heating up. Tesla, known for its advanced batteries and software, may now face a real challenge. Their motors are powerful, but also heavy and less efficient compared to Mercedes' new design. If Mercedes manages to bring this engine into both luxury and mass-market vehicles, Tesla's dominance could be threatened. BYD, despite being the world's largest EV maker, may also lose its edge because while their blade battery is strong, their motor technology is not as advanced. Toyota too will have to rethink its strategy because hybrids and hydrogen cars may fall behind once axial flux EVs prove to be more efficient and reliable. The YASA Flux Engine is not just about speed and power on paper, it also performs better in real-world conditions. Its lightweight design allows cars to accelerate faster, giving sports car-like performance. Its high torque means cars get maximum pulling power instantly, without delay. Unlike traditional motors, where torque builds up slowly, this engine delivers power the moment the driver presses the accelerator. On top of that, the improved efficiency means longer battery life, less frequent charging, and lower long-term costs for owners. The global impact of this technology is huge. As soon as Mercedes announced it, their stock prices started rising and investor confidence grew. Meanwhile, investors in Tesla and BYD began to worry about their future. If Mercedes puts the Flux engine into production, customers in Europe and America may prefer their cars, not just for luxury, but also for better performance and range. In China, where BYD dominates the affordable EV market, a mass-produced Flux engine could threaten their leadership. In emerging markets like India, even though EV adoption is still growing, people will be attracted to cars that promise more range, more power, and longer battery life. This shift will also affect global politics and energy markets. As more efficient EVs spread, the demand for oil will drop even faster. Countries that depend on oil exports will feel the economic pressure. That's why this engine is not just a technical upgrade. It could reshape the balance of the entire automobile industry and even global energy markets. The arrival of the Mercedes YASA Flux engine is not just about cars. It is about how the entire global market may change. Countries that produce lithium and battery materials will benefit because demand for EVs will rise even faster. At the same time, governments will likely push stricter policies. Europe already supports EVs, but with technology like the Flux engine entering the market, they may increase taxes on petrol and diesel cars and offer more subsidies for vehicles using this advanced motor. People's behavior will also shift. Until now, most discussions around EVs have been about batteries and charging times. But in the near future, customers will start asking about motors too. Just like today everyone asks, what is the range of this car? In the future they may ask, does it have a flux motor or the old radial one? This will redefine how people choose their cars. Right now, the Flux engine will mostly appear in luxury and high-performance vehicles. The reason is simple. New technology costs a lot to make, so companies prefer to put it in expensive cars first, where customers can afford the price. But this doesn't mean it will remain expensive forever. Once production becomes larger and research costs are recovered, the Flux engine can also be used in affordable cars. The challenge, however, is mass production. While companies have been making normal motors for decades, the axial flux motor is entirely new and more complex. It requires extremely precise engineering with magnets and coils, which is not easy to balance at a large scale. On top of that, the supply chain for rare earth materials, like neodymium magnets, is already limited to just a few countries such as China. If demand increases, shortages and price hikes are likely. Mercedes will need new suppliers and strong recycling systems to solve this problem. As for when we will see these motors in real cars, Mercedes plans to first use them in luxury sports cars and high-performance models, such as the AMG series. In SUVs, the Flux engine will provide higher torque and power, making them smoother and more powerful to drive despite their heavy weight. In sports cars, this engine could help Mercedes compete directly with models like Tesla's Model S Plaid. For trucks and buses, the advantage is even bigger. They need massive power and torque, and a lighter yet stronger flux engine could give them longer range and better performance than before. If we look beyond 2030, the flux engine has the potential to become the new standard for electric vehicles. Just as lithium-ion batteries are now used in every EV, axial flux motors could soon become common across the industry. In the next 7 to 8 years, even budget-friendly EVs might come with this advanced motor. But one big question remains. Will this really be the future of EVs or just another overhyped technology? History shows that many times automakers make big promises, but when the product reaches the market, it does not perform as expected. The true test of the flux engine will only come when it is fitted into everyday cars and driven by ordinary people around the world. So now the choice is yours. Do you believe the flux engine will truly change the future of electric vehicles? Or will it fade away like other revolutionary technologies that fail to last? Backhand index pointing right, what's your opinion? Share your thoughts in the comments. And if you found this breakdown useful, don't forget to like and subscribe for more stories about how new technology is shaping our world.